I was fully ready to get started on a new big farm, but I keep getting distracted by these big farms and not working on some of the smaller tasks that I keep saying I'm going to do, but I keep just not doing them. And working on my storage system last episode reminded me of that, and I had a whole lot of fun doing it. So I think before I start another big farm, I think it'd be a good idea to do an episode where I'm just doing a bunch of the smaller tasks, but getting a bunch of things done that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And one of those things is this ring here in the end. We're halfway there. Let's see if we can get the other half done. Well, I fell into the void while working on that project. It's totally my own fault. I was watching YouTube, as I often do, while working on grindier projects, and I was paying a little bit too much attention, apparently. And I looked back at Minecraft, and I was at negative 50 in the void, and I tried flying out, but no go. I lost a good set of netherite armor, a pickaxe, and a sword that I'm going to have to replace some point fairly soon. But I think the project in general turned out really well. I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. So we can see these lights coming around in a ring. I think that's a pretty awesome effect. I'm a little iffy on these spikes here. I think they work. They're pretty good. They just didn't quite turn out the way I wanted them to. I had like a different idea in mind. I think these look pretty decent. They're definitely a lot better than just leaving the ring flat all the way around. So, I mean, it adds a little bit of a visual accent to the ring to have these spikes here, but I might want to come back and tweak them at some point in time, but I'll leave them like this for now. It's definitely better than just not having them at all. But the effect of this overall ring, though, I especially love all these beacons in conjunction with the rail cannon. That is an awesome sight right there. That is just very, very cool. And I think the ring in general looks pretty awesome. Now, there is still quite a bit of glass that's not on the ground, and these Endermen were a huge pain while I was working on this project. And I'd like to get rid of the Enderman on this island, but I just don't have enough glass to finish this up. All the glass I had, we used quite a bit on the slime farm, and I'm pretty much out of glass at this point. We've also talked about the idea of maybe just blowing up the island, just like getting rid of it all. And that's another idea, but that's a whole other project unto its own as well. So not something I want to do today, but I'm pretty happy with, I got a lot of other cleaning up done. I finished up the ring. We got some beacons all the way around. We got some nice beacon effects through most of the island. It actually doesn't, none of these beacons actually reach the center of the island. So the effects will all go away by the time I reach the center. So we might want to add more beacons at some point. But for now, I can cross this off my list. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I hate having to do this. I had to take one of my netherite blocks out of my vault here. I've already had to take one. Now we're down to just 4 netherite blocks. Probably going to have to go mining for some netherite at some point fairly soon. But that'll at least get my armor fixed up. There's a hole in my vault. Should maybe fix that too. So this right here is my brewery building, and I built this thing at least 10 episodes ago, and I still haven't put an exterior on this building. And I'm still not going to do that today. Instead, I want to improve the redstone. So this thing works pretty well. It's an automatic brewery. It brews everything, puts them into the shulker boxes here, but I've had a few times recently where I've wanted more than one shulker box of potions, like the fire resistance, invisibility, water breathing. I've had occasion where I needed several shulker boxes of each of those recently, and when I need that many, I basically have to come here, take the shulker box, put it in the chest below, put in a new shulker box, wait for that one to finish, and then come back and do the same thing until I have as many shulker boxes as I need, and that's not super convenient. So what I want to do instead is I want to make a shulker box loading potion brewery. So basically, just however many shulker boxes I put into the system, so if I put 4 into the system, it'll fill up all 4, and then it'll stop. And then if I want to do more, I can add more shulker box to the system. And I think that will work a little bit better for me. I've already figured out how to do that. Unfortunately, even though the brewery part, I'm like, there's a few blocks get changed, but for the most part, the brewery actually is exactly the same. I still have to tear all of this down because it needs to get raised up about 5 blocks in order to make room for the shulker box loader. So all this has got to get moved up. So basically, I got to tear the whole building down and then build the new brewery in its place. All right, I got the new brewery all loaded up and it is working really, really well. You can see here it's already created 8 shulker boxes of fire resistance potions and 4 shulker boxes of splash potions of weakness. It's working on invisibility here. It's almost done. I think I put 8 in here. Oh no, I put 10 in here. I wanted a lot of invisibility potions. Unfortunately, I can't open the shulker boxes. I couldn't figure out a way to configure it to where I could open the shulker boxes, but I can at least tell when it's still working and when it's not because I can actually see the shulker boxes in there and I can kind of see what it's working on as well. And we've got all these potions brewing up. I did this side last because I don't really care as much about the healing potions, but it's going along really well. Got a bunch of splash potions of healing. There we go. And Asta has been working on a turtle potion. We even got some potions of Turtle Master that we can use for some rail cannon testing that'll be coming in the near future. But I'm really happy with this. It's got 2 levels too now. So this is the shulker box level, and then up here is where you would come up to check on the actual brewing stands and load up the items for the brewer. And yeah, it seems to be working really well. It's a pretty cool system. I will come up with a building for it. I swear, I will come up with a building to put around this at some point in the near future. And we'll finally have a building around this. But I've spent too much time on this already. I'm gonna put it off again until a future episode. In my last episode, I set up this little cave here on the side of my floating island, and I talked about the idea of connecting it up to the upper part of the island. So first of all, my bed is underground in the storage room here. So if we come over here, now that I've added this hidden staircase, it's a little bit inconvenient to get to my bed. So I've got to come here, I've got to wait for it to open. It's pretty quick, but, you know, if I've got phantoms on me, I want to come down and sleep pretty quick and get back to what I'm doing. And now that I've got this hidden set of staircases, this really should only be used for maintaining the stuff down here, which doesn't happen very often, but it's nice to have access to that. But I don't want to have my bed down there anymore. So I want to set up a little house over here. I've got room on the corner of the island here. And I can put a house over here and I can put my bed in that. Now, when I saw this spot here, for some reason, the only thing I could think was Wizard Tower. I don't know why. And obviously, there's no place in a floating island full of modern buildings like this for a wizard tower. It just does not fit. But I don't care. I want a wizard tower, so I am going to build a little wizard tower, and that's going to be my home here on the island. And it's going to be fun. And there we have it. Now I have a wizard tower. I don't have any idea what possessed me to do this, but I do think it turned out pretty well, and I do like how it looks on the island. I think it looks pretty decent. It's actually now the tallest building on the island, which is kind of funny because I have skyscraper there, and that's kind of a skyscraper as well, but my wizard tower is actually taller than either of those two skyscrapers. But I do like how it looks quite a bit, and I really like the interior, so we can go take a look at that. So this is the main bedroom area, and I really like how this, I didn't want to have like a flat floor, so I've got like spilled magic that kind of like all over the place and little decorations and stuff like that. I actually got a skeleton skull using my trident, and so I wanted to use that as decoration. I love using wither skulls as decoration. That's a lot of fun. Got a little potion brewery and some, magic items over here, and beacons as lighting. And yeah, just a little bedroom here. And then we got a stairs that goes up to a little balcony out here. And there's not really any, maybe I could put some decoration out here, figure that out later. And then the way up to the very top, this is where the library is. This is just like this completely random, just bookcases all over the place. And then more wither skulls as decoration and flower pots with wither roses in it. I thought that was kind of fun. And yeah, there's not a lot of reason to come up here. This is mostly just decorative. It's just a big old room full of bookcases, just because I thought a library made sense for a wizard tower. So the only way down is to just like fall like this. There's no water stop or anything like that, just because there's not really any reason to go up here. So I just left it like that, but I am really happy. This is a pretty cool building, and I also completed quite a bit of the island here as well. So we've got a lot of ground that wasn't here before. Added some trees, some flowers, some bushes and stuff like that. I think that really helps the island out quite a bit, gives it quite a bit more that's going on here. So yeah, got a lot done. Pretty happy with this. Oh, and my potion brewery has finished its work. All of the potions are done brewing now, including something like 10 choker boxes of potions of invisibility. So this is fantastic. It means when I need some potions, I can come and take, they're already ready to go, and I can come and take them. I just need to add more choker box to the system, and it'll replace what I take, and then those will be ready to go the next time I need to use them. Now, I will include the schematic of this in the description. However, you might want to wait on that, because I did have a small issue. One of the choker boxes, two of the choker boxes actually, ended up missing. I put four choker boxes in this system right here, and I think there's something wrong with this choker loader here, and it's sending the choker box somewhere else. I'm not really sure, probably through the wall, and then it's despawning. It's only a small percentage of the time, but I mean, I don't want a system that's losing choker boxes. That's not a very good choker box loader system, so I'll need to fix that. I do want to make a tutorial about this, but I'm not going to make a tutorial of a system that doesn't work properly. So I need to fix the system, and then I will try to get a tutorial out in the next couple of weeks, because I do think this is a really cool system. And I also lost a choker box of Turtle Master Potions, and that sucks, because those are pretty expensive. Other than that, I mean, it's a low percentage, because, we got all of these through the system, and none of these choker boxes are missing. So You know, it seems like it's maybe 1 out of 20 or something like that, but that's still not a properly working system. So the one big task I've been falling behind on the most and putting off the most is working on this floating island here. There's still a long way to go. We've got 1/4 of it finished. We've got more of this done, but it takes a long time to build this. It really does. Now, for some reason, it never occurred to me. I pre-build most of what I build in creative just to make sure it saves me tons of time to pre-build everything in creative. And I've never even considered doing that for this floating island. I think part of that is because I started using Lightmatica after I started this floating island. And without using Lightmatica, like copying a design for something on this scale from one world into another, like without Lightmatica, just isn't possible. There's just no conceivable way of doing it. But I'm using Lightmatica now, so I've done a bunch of planning ahead of time, and it was definitely a lot faster than trying to do it in survival. And so I've got a big chunk of the island already planned out, and I don't know, the part I don't know is how easy it is going to be to actually build it using the Lightmatica schematic. And that's what I got to find out. In theory, it should be easier. I should be able to start at the bottom and work my way up versus starting at the top and working my way down. It should hopefully be quite a bit easier. So let's find out. Yeah, I definitely think that was an improvement. It may not look like a whole lot, but that was a substantial amount of work that got done here, and that would have taken me at least twice as long to do the old way. It was definitely easier to do it from the bottom up, and also I think it means that I can get rid of all this mess down here because I only needed a few scaffolding points, and I can probably do that through the water. It might be a little more annoying, but it'd be nice to have this all gone. But yeah, I definitely think that's the way I'm going to do this going forward, and it might actually speed up the process of getting this done quite a bit, because I really would like to get this done at some point. Oh, and I forgot to show, by the way, that the cave here, if we come on in here, we've now got this water tube that leads right up into the wizard tower. So that's a nice way into my base from down below. I can hit my bed right away, which actually, conveniently, it is nighttime. Or I can go into my storage system, which is another frequent point that I go to, or wherever. I can fly around. It's pretty cool. And it also looks pretty cool. I actually had a lot of fun doing these tasks. I think I'm getting quite a bit better at building. I'm sure there's some builders that could have done a better wizard tower than this, but for my part, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I mean, it definitely comes off as a wizard tower. I think there's some really cool details in there, and I think the more that I do stuff like this, the better I'm going to be at seeing those details that really matter and coming up with these kind of ideas. And so I'd like to keep doing more of this. I don't do building enough probably, and so I should probably do it a little bit more, and then I think I would get quite a bit better at it. So I think, I mean, there's quite a few other tasks that still need to be done, so I might actually want to do another episode like this some point fairly soon. I mean, our end portal is an absolute mess. I'd like to do some storage upgrades to my sugarcane farm and the melon and pumpkin farm and get all those items moved over into the obsidian bank. There's some storage upgrades I'd like to do for my own base. And then, of course, there's the exterior for the potion brewery. These are all things that still need to be done, and I'm sure there's others. And, of course, there's more work that needs to be done on the floating islands. So, I don't know. Should I get started working on another farm right away, or should maybe I do another one of these episodes right away? Let me know what you think. I'm not sure which way I want to go right now, but I did enjoy doing this episode quite a bit. And no, I didn't switch my skin this time. I did consider making myself a wizard, but I do hand draw all these skins. So I kind of ran out of time on this episode. And so I'll just stick to my regular Halloween costume. This is my Halloween costume, by the way. I'm a skeleton for Halloween. And I think this is fun enough. But I want to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye now.